Hello and welcome YouTubers and Doctor Who fanatics to another video on TG Productions, and it's another installment of the Showcase series. This time it's installment number 53 and we'll be showcasing 6 very rare Doctor Who books. We have one Doctor Who Target Paperback, we have an FBS Publishing book, which is a sequel to a series by FBS Publishing. We have a book very similar to a Target Hardback, a Telos book out of print, a charity book, and a Reproduction Doctor Who annual, which I teased quite a few months ago, I would say. Yeah, it's one of those very rare Reproduction annuals. Only 3 copies were done of 3 Reproduction annuals, being 1968, 1969 and 1971. I have one of them in my collection. I'll be showcasing it as the last book in the video. Plus, announcing 7 very exciting, which I'll be showcasing in the future for 4 years of TG Productions. And I will say what it is at the end of the video, because yeah, it is something special, and all the foreshadowing and referencing and mentioning of this book should make it very obvious. So without no further ado, let's showcase 6 very nice snazzy Doctor Who books. First Doctor Who book, I should have honestly have had this in my collection ages ago, and to be more detailed, 3.5 years ago, when I had a Doctor Who book called Evil the Daleks in my collection, the first rare Doctor Who book I actually ever got in February 2014. And now, finally, actually thanks to a subscriber and viewer of mine, and again, I don't really have any excuse why I haven't picked this up before, but it was cheap online, a viewer sent it to me, and you have to be stupid not to actually go for it. It's Power of the Daleks by John Peel. Again, I don't know why I didn't pick it up earlier. It's strange, I don't know, because it's one of my favourite Doctor Who stories of all time. Because I have read Evil the Daleks, which was great, and Power should follow the same path, because John Peel praised for his novelisations, but detested for his original fiction. So to the front cover, lovely illustration by Mr. Pearson. There's the spine and the back. It has this nice plastic book shield around it, so it's in very good condition. You're opening the book. This is a ex-library copy. Again, a good thing back in the day is that when these libraries got rid of their Doctor Who books and gave them to like other people and were withdrawn, they got it for like 10p, 50p, and this also counts like Target Hardbacks as well. So some people got some real bargains back in the day. And yeah, this was because they were unaware of some of the book's rarity and how much it would build in the coming years. Yeah, it's in good condition. I would say, yeah, definitely some real bad tanning by here, but the sleeve has protected the other part of the book. Yeah, tanning at times is definitely presented in the book, but still very happy to have a copy. Might as well get Evil the Daleks with it because I have it. Yeah, I should have got this one during February 2014 because that is when I got the Evil the Daleks. Again, I don't know why, and I have no excuse why I haven't got this one before. But hey, now I do. So yeah, that is the Power of the Daleks Target novelisation. I'm definitely going to give it a read at some point because it is, of course, one of my favourite stories of all time. So yeah, that was the Target Paperback. Moving to the second book, which is an FBS Publishing book. Yeah, with the FBS Publishing books, I am on about Look Who's Talking, which I don't have, and Second Chances, which I do have. This is a sequel to Second Chances and Look Who's Talking by Colin Baker. FBS Publishing did the 3rd installment of this series or trilogy. It recently came out this year, I believe March 2017. It's not out of print yet, but when it will, it will become quite difficult to track down because it just doesn't pop up on eBay a lot. And there's no Amazon link, you can't get this on Amazon. The only way you can get it is to look on eBay or go on the FBS Publishing website and you can get it for £9.99. I paid 50p for this on eBay, so it was on eBay, it was 50p. And I said, well, you can't refuse that because it goes out of print, it's worth more money. Yes, I'm on about, of course, the sequel to Second Chances called 6 Cents by Colin Baker. A very nice cover illustration by Owen Claxon. It's got this very nice rubber effect on on the outside of the book. Yeah, really nice front cover, looks brilliant on the shelf. There's the spine brown, Colin Baker, 6 cents, and there is the FBS Publishing logo. And then we have the back, original price. I wouldn't pay this much for the book because I'm not too interested in it, but again, 50p, you just can't really refuse it really. So I got this for collection reasons and not anything I'm rather interested in. And yeah, these 3 books, Look Who's Talking, Second Chances and 6 Cents, are like in a collection of Colin Baker's Bucks Free Press columns in one book. Yeah, nothing that interests me really, but again, got it for collection reasons. So to book number 1, very similar to a Target hardback. Doesn't appear a lot on eBay, but I did see it once. It went for quite a nice price. I got this from Amazon for £2.75. Lovely price. It's not a Target hardback novelisation, it's actually a Hutchinson's Doctor Who hardback. Same company who did the Doctor Who special effects hardback and paperback, I believe, as well. This is the Doctor Who Peter Davison's Book of Alien Monsters. And there is another one as well, just with a red banner, called Peter Davison's Book of Alien Planets, I do believe. Yes, quite a nice cover, this one. Don't see it a lot. I believe the price now is £50 on Amazon. £2.75. Really can't argue with that. Yeah, this Doctor Who book isn't really based about Doctor Who, really, because it references like alien planets and whatnot, which aren't anything to do with Doctor Who. But there are some references in there to Doctor Who, such as Skaro and the Daleks that I've mentioned. So yes, that's the front cover. Looking very nice. And there's the spine, Peter Davison's Book of Alien Monsters, Hutchinson's. And there's the back as well with the bio, so you can pause if you want to read that. And to open it up, yes, this one's actually an ex-library Doctor Who book, this one. Withdrawn one. Looks in quite nice condition. Again, doesn't really directly reference or is about Doctor Who, really. And I think these are short trips, maybe, on different alien planets, or different, sorry, not alien planets, on different alien monsters, or something like that. Don't recognise any of the writers, I don't. So yeah, that is Doctor Who Peter Davison's Book of Alien Monsters. Got it for £2.75. Can't argue with that. Don't bother paying like £50 for it, because when it appears on eBay, you'll probably get it for a good price, because some people just forget about these Doctor Who books and really just focus on the Target hardbacks, and that's where the big money sometimes comes into play. So yeah, very nice Doctor Who book. So yeah, that was the book, very similar to a Target hardback, with a Hutchinson's Doctor Who hardback. Now we'll be moving to the Telos book. So yeah, this is a Telos Doctor Who book. I haven't really seen this one around a lot on Amazon, hasn't really appeared, but you can definitely find it for a good price. It's just one of those waiting game Doctor Who books, I feel. This is not a Telos Deluxe book. This is just an out-of-print Telos book. It's a paperback, and it's only been released in paperback form. Can't remember what year it came out. It's kind of a nice Doctor Who book. Gives you some information on some of the stories and the dates of the show and whatnot. I paid £8 for this. It appeared on eBay. No one bid for it, even though the bid ended at quite of an awkward time when no one could really bid on it, because people were being like school, college, work, and that was one of my days off for me, so pretty lucky. This is the book called Who Astrology. Yeah, very nice cover. I do love this a lot. You can see some different patterns of like Doctor Who monsters, one like a Sontaran, a Naimon, a Zao Daemon, a Sea Devil. Can't really tell what that one is. Sutak. Can't tell what. Yeah, still can't tell what all these monsters are. Wirren. We have Ishtar on that one from Time Room Genesis. Some other ones as well, which I can't really tell what they are. Yeah, it's quite of a nice Doctor Who book. Gives you some information on dates of episodes, like what happened on January 1st. We have episodes shown on this day, like Daleks Master Plan Episode 8, Day of the Daleks, Face of Evil, End of Time, and some of the birthdays of some of the characters and actors and whatnot, or directors, writers who has their birthday on January the 1st. And then January the 2nd, what episodes were shown on this day, Rescue Episode 1 and Until the Autumns Episode 1. It's quite a nice, little informative Doctor Who book with some illustrations to pop in there as well. Some of them are okay, some of them are pretty good. All by there. Quite a nice little Doctor Who book to have. Another rare book to add to the collection. Wasn't one of my most wanted or anything like that. Seen it cheap, just like Peter Davison's Book of Alien Monsters, and I said, it's cheap, why not get it? It doesn't appear a lot, and it is out of print after all. So yeah, that is Whostrology, a Telos out of print book. So yeah, not as rare as like the Telos Deluxe books, for example, which are out of print. Like the Raymond PQ 6-inch collection, or something like that. If you find it, you'll probably pay like £10 for it, really, or something like that. So yeah, that is Whostrology. Now we'll be moving to the charity book. This one has a story behind it. And probably the most stress I have gone to acquiring a Doctor Who book, because something was going wrong with eBay at the time of this one. And it was driving me crazy because I said, oh no, I'm not going to get it now, because something's gone wrong. I noticed it the moment it popped up on eBay, maybe just like a minute after. I noticed it, but there was something wrong with the eBay servers, I do believe. And it resulted in payment not be able to work, or adding things to the basket. There was a problem, I believe traffic maybe with eBay, something was going wrong. I can't tell because I don't work for eBay or know what's going on behind the scenes, don't know, but something was definitely going wrong with eBay. But originally I thought it was just something wrong with my internet, because I pressed buy now, and all that happened, the screen froze, it didn't do anything. The buy now button wasn't working. I said, oh shit, it's not working for me now, so someone's just gonna steal it and get a nice little snatch. But it wasn't just a problem with like an internet. My internet, for example, it was an eBay issue overall, so no one could buy. So I said, that's good. But it was on the same day where I was doing my run hosted by the Chepstow Racecourse where I work, and I said, what if it's fixed when I'm doing this event I'm taking part in? I was getting worried because this book doesn't appear a lot. It's only limited to a very small number. Again, charity books, there is a side to them which makes them incredibly difficult. They don't have dedicated Amazon links. That's what makes them real difficult to find. And not a lot of people have them as well. Even though they don't appear on eBay a lot, that's probably the best way you can get them, or contact with collectors. Even though I've not really had the best luck when it comes to charity books, mind, when trying to find them. But yeah, I'm so happy to this one. It was probably one of my most wanted Doctor Who books at the time, because now I've completed the perfect timing range. Yes, I have got perfect time in the original. I had 2 perfect timing 2s, believe it or not. Still got the 1, obviously. And now I have the perfect timing 1 limited edition. Finally. And boy was it stressful. Yeah, due to an eBay issue, I couldn't get this one. And all I needed to do was to hope that it was still there when I came back home and finished my run. And miraculously, it was still there. And I said, maybe the issue hasn't been fixed yet by eBay. Pressed the buy now button, and it worked. Payment went through, and I just had a feeling of relief. But thank God no one purchased it, because I know so many people were watching it, because the watch counter was going up. It was, and I was starting to get a little bit worried, I was. But no one purchased it, and I think that is a sign of the gods of Lumbara with that one, definitely. Yeah, number 1 with getting stressed about getting a Doctor Who book, but I've got it, I've completed the perfect timing range, and it definitely feels great. Absolutely lovely front cover. It says by here, a limited edition reprint of the first collection of short trip fiction featuring TV's favourite time traveller, in the aid of the Foundation for the Student of Infant Deaths. Yeah, it features the same stories as in Perfect Timing 1, the original. They just have some bonus short stories to this release. So if you've got Perfect Timing 1, it is basically the same as the limited edition, but you just have an extra content essentially, and it's limited. It depends how you stand as a collector, because I like to complete things, so this was definitely on my list. So yeah, beautiful front cover. There's the spine. It's a lot more thinner than Perfect Timing 2. Again, you have some lovely stories and taking out chapters and deleted parts of books like Vampire Science, The Dark Path. Loads of great content. I love the Perfect Timing books. And there we go. There's the bio. Not sure if you can really read that, but I'll read this part. This edition of Perfect Timing has been produced in a one-time only print of 150 copies. This came out around about 1999. So, it's been out for a while. And the main thing these books are doing now is just sticking in people's collection. With this one I've got, it just makes the possibility of getting Perfect Timing 1 and a lot more difficult, because I'm not selling this one. And my number, because it actually has a number in on Perfect Timing 1 limited edition, my number is 24. Again, I said this with Perfect Timing 1, it features so many great stories. I'm trying to find the Dark Path story. Well, I didn't find the Dark Path story, but so I lift the camera up. We have Vampire Science, the second draft of Chapter 1. Again, it's a lot different from Chapter 1 featured in the original book when it was published. Again, I actually should give this a read and just see the comparison, because yeah, Grace is in this, but it didn't happen due to copyright. It was removed and replaced with another character. So very interesting stuff, because not only does it have short stories and deleted chapters, you learn new things about the Doctor Who books. And like deleted chapters, I think is probably the best thing about it, really, just to see content which you weren't supposed to see, and you just thrown it in a charity book, because of course profit wasn't made on this Doctor Who book. It was all going to charity. It was, you know, you can't do that with something licensed like Vampire Science. I love the Perfect Timing books. They're just so great they are. If you find one, pick it up, because they have some fantastic content. So yeah, Perfect Timing 1, I think it's pretty much down to luck I got this. Now to the final Doctor Who book. Yes, I did track down one of the very rare Doctor Who reproduction annuals from a collector. I only paid £30 for it, because the seller was being realistic. But yes, this is not an original, it's just a very rare reproduction. These were to specific people who found it difficult to get the original annuals. Yes, this shop did some reproductions on the rare Doctor Who annuals, such as the 1968, the 1969 and the 1971 annual, because these people found the original annuals hard to track down, and yes, they are hard. So in 2012, this shop made these reproductions and gave them to these fans as a request. So yeah, of course I wasn't supposed to get this, but I just want to have an idea of what it's like to have like these reproduction annuals, because only 3 copies were done of each one, 1968, 1969, 1971. Now, should you go out your way and try and get one of these? No, I wouldn't. I would just pick up the original Doctor Who annual, really. Because, again, these weren't meant for other people, it's just meant specifically for people. That's why they were made. Very similar to... Now, some people might not know this, but if you know the Christmas Invasion Target book, there was another one called The Runaway Bride, just done as a Target book, but that was done privately and sent to people specifically. Again, think limited to 50 copies, that one, but that was done privately and not publicly. Again, it's very cool to have one because it has some story behind it and whatnot, and only 3 were done. But I wouldn't go out my way to get the other 2, which I'm missing. If I just find them and know they're about, then I'll go for it. But since I don't know where they are, you know, I'm not going to bother. It's lovely to have one at least. It's lovely to have one. So which one do I have? Because yes, these are like on the top of my list, they are. Again, compared to stuff like either Tiger, the early years, and Cyberman Specialist Collector's Edition, of course they're worth so much more. So take a guess of which one I have. The 1968, the 1969, or the 1971. Place your guesses in your head. I'll give you around about 5 seconds. If you said the 1971 annual, yeah, you're quite correct. Yes, the one I tracked down was the 1971 Reproduction annual. Got this from a collector. He didn't really want it anymore because he said he got the original annual now, and even though he requested this, he no longer wanted it. So I said, even though I have the original annual, I'll just pick it up because why not? Add it to the collection. And yeah, very cool to have it is. And again, I guess it can be very useful because if I don't want to like damage this book, for example, when reading it, just read the Reproduction annual. Because I like to leave this, my 1971 annual, because it's in perfect condition, mind you, and it's protective wrapping, and just leave it like that. Because again, I don't want it to get damaged really, so to have this is actually pretty useful. You know, to read the short stories and all the content it has. That's a very useful thing to have. Content is all exactly the same. Yeah, the content is exactly the same, it is. All the same. And as I said, only paid £30 for this. And yeah, absolutely brilliant to have one of them. I guess my only step now is to get one of the books within the top 3 in value. So that's the next step. And you will see one of those books, Cyberman Collector's Edition, Yearly Years Deluxe, or either Tiger, in the next installment of the Showcase series, coming out late July. So let's just do a recap. First book was the Power of the Daleks Target. Second was an FBS Publishing book, being the sequel to Second Thoughts, Sixth Sense, released March 2017 this year. Third is a Hutchinson's hardback of Peter Davison's book of Alien Monsters, Whose Astrology, a Telos book, which is now on a print. The penultimate, definitely one of the most stressful books I've ever tried to get in my collection. Perfect Time in One, got it for £50, and it is limited to 150 copies, one of the rarest charity books of all time. And then lastly, with my 1971 annual, we have the Reproduction 1971 annual, limited to 3 copies, and this one is the proof copy, so that's definitely very good. So yeah, that was showcase number 54. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And my little announcement, I have a 4-year special video happening. This will be coming out late July to early August, and it'll just be me celebrating 4 years of TG Productions, and as well Unboxing 7. I cannot wait to showcase. I've talked about it a lot, I have, and it's also my most wanted item to add in my collection. I will be unboxing the Early Years Deluxe, one of the most valuable Doctor Who books of all time, the second to be precise, for the 4 years of TG Productions and the Showcase series after all, because it is my most wanted Doctor Who book and item of all time. So see you in that video, and of course, have a good one.